Each week, we welcome to our NfG stage one of our highly talented members or special guests with something designed to help you and your business. Our next guest began in the cutthroat, target-driven, fast-paced world of telemarketing, overcoming call reluctance, fear of rejection, and procrastination. He devised the answer to eliminate these obstacles in the form of a confidence competency loop, and things soon became very different. Using these skills to help others, he works as a sales coach with a range of clients before launching his podcast, Prime Your Day, Prime Your Life. His latest project, the Directors Forum, through that, he helps others realize that confidence in sales is a skill that anyone can learn. With a talk titled, Is Failing and Winning an Effective Sales Mindset? I bring to you Chris Wilson. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Richard, and thank you for that absolutely spot-on introduction as normal. So I just want to ask all of you this morning to go with a little bit of a journey for me. And I'd like you to think about the ability of your unconscious and conscious mind to direct your mind. And if you've got a pen, everybody got a pen, just hands up if you've got a pen in your hand and a piece of paper. You should have done from the last, brilliant. And just like to, your normal writing hand, just put your signature, just sign your signature on your piece of paper. All quite comfortable with that? Nice and easy? All right, now just change the pen over to your other hand and repeat the exercise. Signatures away with your non-writing hand. Anybody find that a little bit more tricky? Yeah, Stefan's a little bit 50-50. This is your unconscious mind and conscious mind working for you. And probably, if you're really confident, you could probably put your hand up now to the screen and actually write your signature almost in the air. You want to have a go with that? Just have a go. Just write your signature in the air. Thank you very much. You're waving at me. That's very nice. Thank you so much. So this is your mindset working for you in terms of it has a habit of doing things for you almost unconditionally because it's your unconscious mind working for you. And every second, your mind is processing something like 2 million bits of data for you to then get through the next second. So it only allows in what you want to let it in. And in the sales context, if you work unconsciously with bad habits or bad rhythms, then I assure you, you're going to get off to a pretty failing start. So I'm just going to try to share my screen. Hopefully it's going to work, and Rich is going to allow me to do it, which is great. And we're just going to go through 7 habits, if we can, around simple hacks for enabling your mindset to win for you. Let's just make sure this is going to go. Somebody just tell me they can see my screens. Michael, if you give me a hands up to say you can see me and the screens, that'd be great. Good. So 7 ideas in 7 minutes. Off we go. We're going to go through this pretty quick. The first thing I talked about there is really the ability to make sure that you have the ability in your mind to start to work for you. So what you think about, you become, what you feel you attract, and what you imagine you create. So if you imagine you're horrendous at telemarketing, then obviously you will be. And if you think you can't perform with good email, then you're not going to attract people through a good email. So this is really the mind working for you. And I really want you to try to think about also the ability of negative and positive thoughts to create impressions for you in the day. We were built as primeval adults or beings. And when you work in a primeval way, negative thoughts were designed to help you in that it was fight or flight. Negativity creates cortisol, produces blood sugar to all the important organs, increases adrenaline, and that's fantastic. But if we work now in the 21st century in a way that says negative thoughts can actually be really debilitating for you. So if you work in a positive way, it produces serotonin and dopamine, which is a great way to get through. All the connectors in the brain begin to work for you. So if you can start the day positively, then that can really begin to work in your favors. Come on, screen, where's this gone? I've just, somebody's got my chat screen in the way. So if you think about your morning routines, how many of you reach for the phone the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Anybody reach for the phone or maybe check your email or even get the news? When you come out of your sleep-like state, this is your brain working most cognitively. It's in that golden hour from dream to reality. And if you flood your brain at that time of the morning with other people's thoughts, fear-inducing news, which is, it says if it bleeds, it leads, or other people's emails, you're already creating perhaps a negative mindset about the day. So could you change it? Well, this is my mnemonic of Prime, which starts my morning every morning and how it works for me, which basically starts the day with prioritization. What 3 things today are really important to me that have to be no matter what? And I call them my done by ones, making sure that by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I've done those 3 things. What am I going to read? What am I going to listen to create some cognitive creation in my mind? Who can I be inspired today, or who's going to inspire me? Have a little bit of mindfulness through some yoga or meditation, and then change my state. Some exercise or energy, start moving my hands, putting blood through the lymph nodes and making sure that I'm ready to get through the day. And that often will get my mind in a really positive creation, intention making mindset. And then from there, what about visualization? Do you bring this into your goal setting? This is Kelly Holmes, Crossing the Line. If you read her story, she went from the depths of despair, but she always visualized success. And this is the moment, crossing the goal. And she looked up at the clock and suddenly realized that she'd achieved everything she'd been hoping for. How do you bring visualization into your day? Do you look at it as a drone looking down on success? Or do you go through the motions of smelling, tasting, feeling, touching, and bringing all the senses to the aspects of your visualization to success? The next habit could be this one. Fail to plan, plan to fail. How many of you took Neil's advice from a couple of weeks ago and really engineered in success for your 60 seconds today? Or did you wake up at 5 to 11 and suddenly think, oh my goodness, it's networking for good. What on earth am I going to talk about? Well, fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So how many times do you plan in your sales calls, your discovery calls, your email campaigns to really create success for you to serve from? Next habit is this one. Standing up when you're doing your sales calls or you're pitching. As again, as primeval adults, we were designed to fight or flight standing up. And therefore it creates adrenaline, it produces the right blood sugars and the blood to the right parts of the body. And you will, I guarantee you, be more successful pitching or sales calling standing up than you will be sitting down. So the next time you've got a really important call with somebody, stand up, walk around and really prime yourself for success on that sales call. And then your communication, how you communicate with people is effective in different levels. If you rely on your communication through a written context, Albert Mahabir's model says it's only 7% effective. Increase it with the voice and tonality coming into it, it goes up to 38%. So reliant on text or email is not going to be as effective as a telemarketing stroke cold call stroke prospect call. Put the video context into it or an in-person meeting like this, and you get the 100% effectiveness of your communication because they can see your body language, your tone, your posture, and bring in the totality of your communication. So if you haven't got video into your armory yet of effectiveness, I would recommend that you really begin to work on your video skills because this method of communication will stay with us no matter how many times we go back into actual working face-to-face. Final tip for the day is to test and measure, test and measure. Always test and measure. The confidence and competency loop I talked about says that when you're trying, even if you fail, just like when you had to stand up and walk for the first time, you didn't just fall over and stay there. You learned from it. You then repeated the exercise, and through encouragement and testing and measuring, you began to walk more successfully. The same applies in sales. When you fail, you try again. The next time you try, you'll be better because you've already learned from your failures. That's my inspiration slot for today. 7 themes to try to charge you full of success to be better at sales with a winning mindset. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're probably right.